Here we go. It's Tuesday, October 14th. Big day in the market. Let's see what happened here. Dow plus 202, NASDAQ minus 172, S&P minus 10.41, Russell 3.49. Let's look at it real fast. Now, you had the bounce back. It was down pre-market futures, big bounce on the down. Then Trump again tweeted more China, somewhat soybean oils, tariff. NASDAQ minus 172. You can see this faded late. So did the S&P. And look at the Russell. Russell's really strong. It's amazing the Russell held up because small caps will usually leave first. Smaller companies, a lot of debt, and they held up strong today, which is kind of different. Not sure what that means exactly, but that's what we're going to look at. TNA small caps today. All right, so you had the gap down 46. It was a 45. Pre-market, you bounce. You go all the way down to 44. Look at your line right here. And you could have played a quick long 50 cents. And then you hold this 44 line. Now the line right here, basically about 44.76. You come down, you bounce, come down. So it's really here. Then you have another line, maybe say 45.31 pre-market. But you're holding that and you're holding 44 in that little sandwich here. All right, so you can see it in between, and then what happens. So the market starts to bounce. Now you can play these lines. These are 50-cent lines. You played a quarter, that's too small. Look how tight that is. You're ripping through that on some of these candles, and this would be too wide. That's $1. So try to get it in between. So 45, you go up, little pit stop. That's really nothing here. 45.50. You have this stop right here, which is going to be over, 46.50. You go up, you come back down. So you go over that 46.50 line. That's a good place to get out right here. If you're playing a move, there's your out, take profit, see what happens. Is it going down? Take a look at it. Are we going back up? And we are, and it goes back to 47. Now you can do these moves in your head. You don't have to draw lines on all of them. A lot of these little short moves, if it's a bigger line, I'll draw a line. Then you have a move right there. So 47, look at this. You break right out right here, 47 line. You go up again, 47.50, 47.80, go up all the way to 49. Excuse me. And then look at the drop. Trump tweets again about, what did they say exactly it was? Did they say here? Didn't really say, but I believe it was something with soybean oil, or he's going to tariff that. So you're at 49, you go down to 48. And yeah, if you're playing all this big run right here, you see multiple candles. These are very small, but once you get to three, I would get out. If it was, one big one too, like this. So there's your moves. You're talking from maybe 44 to 49, a $5 move, and you don't have to catch all that. You can catch 50 cents, you can catch $1, 125. This is why you want big volatility here. On one of them moves, my goal each day is to make pretty much 500 to 2,000. And I'll up that, my account gets bigger, but sometimes I'm in swing trades. But even if you make 200, look at it this way. If you make 200 a day, just say in a week and in a year, that's 50,000 a year. You're replacing your job with 200 a day, which is not that hard trading. That's how you look at things. Don't look at things like you're making $1 million in a year right away. It's not how it works. You got to build up like anything else in life. So you have these moves. That's good action today. And really, this day easily, I didn't calculate it. It could be like a $2,000 day plus for most people. Dry. So that's what it could be. All right, take these lines out. This is the big run on TNA. And this is the 3-minute chart you can see up here. 5-minute chart, it's going to have less candles. Each one of these candles is 5 minutes. So you see the move here. See, here's a hammer. Once you see this hammer right there, you got to know candles. A hammer's pushing out the bottom. It's like a springboard. And then look what happens. You go up, You have a consolidation right here. Your sandwich between 46, 46.50. You go up again. Draw your line right here, and there it breaks that support. Even here, you can draw a line, and then you're sideways. So this is a big move. Now, 10-minute, you have a move all the way up. You have a cross, maybe get out, get back in for the break. And then you go all the way up to another big candle as, the Russell was really strong today. And that was the 10-minute, 5-minute. All right, the daily chart since April, this low, there it is. The low was 1811. We're at 48 now. So look at the run it's been on. In between, you have back and forth moves. I drew a high line now, pretty much to that wick. If I can get this wick over. That wick right here. And then you can see the low line April to August. And then I had some buy points here. I put in arrows sometimes. This is the algo will always be yellow, or I guess it's green now. It's like a lime green. Here's a green on arrows the way up. Then it got very choppy. If you're looking at short here at work, you bounce right back. Trump with the tariffs. And you can see we're going down, but we're bouncing. So there's a lot of volatility. But you haven't reached your low line in a long time. That came pretty close. Here's your high line. So it looks like we're going back up for the moment. And then you did cross up. There's the low and the Russell and the weekly, the low. We're getting higher even. Can this get back to 50, 55? We'll see on this run. We'll see if that happens. The monthly still straight up. That's why I think it can happen. Look at the monthly. This is straight white over red. Do you see the bend here? This is what I look for too. People don't understand some of these indicators, how they work in conjunction with the market. This is choppy here. This isn't. This is a clear V recovery now. You don't have any kind of like bend or move, with this move up. That's why I think you can get to about 58. Quarterly chart, you're crossing over 2. That looks pretty good. Look at this broadening wedge from 2009. Here's your high line, your low line. You reached it 2020, bounced right up. The high line 21 came all the way back close to it here. And we'll see how far this goes. Each high, 17, got lower. This might get lower again, even though if you have a divergence move, see this? This could get up to past 50, 55-ish, but lower than previous moves on that. All right, so we'll see what happens with this. Yeah, your next level is going to be that 50, 57-ish about. Well, at least 55 to 57 on TNA. And intraday, it's very choppy. Look what we just went through the last week now. So it's pretty wild action, but very good for day trading. And you're looking for small moves in your day trading. Now, scalpers, whatever, if you play in the seconds, the minutes, I'm always looking at the chart and not specific time. I like to trade longer. So in a move like this, if I'm in, I'm looking for something to get out, take profits. Where this was one candle, it's either or. If it gets red, then I'm going to get out and get out. Like this right here, I'm getting out because I want to play the quick move and get the profit. You can always hold longer and longer, but only do that only specific, days of setups on this because this is a 3-minute I'm playing. If you go all over different time frames, yes, you could hold longer. If you look at the low here, see, it didn't really cross out from this low till up higher. So you can play around different time frames. You always want to hold longer and make more profit. But excuse me. But the whole thing with day trading too is you don't want to trade all day. I mean, unless it's available and make quick moves, maybe pre-market, so like noon. And then, if you want to trade later too, it really depends what you're trying to do exactly. That's why it's so good day trading. You want to trade pre-market or quick profit after the open. You have the rest of the day or do what you want to do basically. So if moves are there, you can trade all day. People say you can't trade all day. They don't know what they're talking about. People have no idea. I've been studying charts for over like 20 years now. So they don't know. They're mainly talking about penny stocks because penny stocks, they will move and then they will pretty much stop after the open, get big volatility down. You've seen it before, the shooting star wicks. So, all right, so this is TNA, and we'll do some more videos in a little bit. That's it. Please subscribe to Mike Kim Trades on YouTube. Smash the like button. Peace.